So we have just 33 more likes to go to the prepare for the CCHI video to be able to reach those 100 likes that we need, that we're trying to get to post the MIP 21 to YouTube. So yeah, we are already past halfway. We are 67% there, 67 likes. I know we can do it, and I know we're gonna do it. I am confident that we are going to get it this next week. We are probably going to have that video MIP 21 posted on YouTube. So yeah, remember that once the video gets posted on YouTube, we are going to let you comment on that video, and then after, I don't know, we don't have a set time date, maybe 2 weeks, a month, we don't know. After some time, we're gonna pick 2 comments at random, and we are gonna let those people, actually those 2 winners that we pick, the comments are random. We're gonna send them exclusive links to the MIP 22 before anyone will ever get to see them, way before anyone. They're gonna get the links to MIP 22, and we are going to ask them to please record their interpretations, send them over to us so we can provide some feedback. So I am very excited about this. Let's do it, guys. Let's get that video prepare for the CCHI to 100 likes. I know that we can do it. All right, so let's get started. Hello and welcome to Unwind Sessions, where right after my shift I give the highlights of my workday and answer any questions that might have been asked at a previous session. My name is Juan. I am an English, Spanish, medical, video, remote consecutive interpreter with over 4 years of experience. Today is Friday, August 6, 2021, and today I took 35 sessions. All video and, well, not all video, right? A mix between video and audio sessions. And there was a special session today that I really liked. I really loved it. I was on hold for like half an hour, so it was lovely. All right, other than that, I don't have any more highlights today. Nothing really relevant to interpretation, nothing worth mentioning. So I am going to dive right into the main topic of this video, the good stuff, right? The goodies. That's the reason why you are here. And before we do that, I would like to thank our viewer, Lima or Jaima, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Lima El Gorani, who asked me if I ever had any workers' compensation sessions. So this video is for you. I don't really get that many workers' comp sessions, but I do get a few. I don't know, maybe once or twice in a couple of months. So I do have some experience on that. So this is gonna be 10 must-know workers' comp vocabulary words. The following definitions were given by Google, piinsurance.com, askjan.org, archibus.net, and I have to say that this one is archibus.net. That's where I got like most of the definitions for this word. So go ahead and give that page a look, or actually if you can just look workers comp vocabulary, I think that's what I looked up in Google. You are going to find that, and that's going to be your main page. They have some really good definitions and some really good vocabulary words that you have to know for workers comp that didn't make it on this video. All right, and the last place where I took definitions from is workerscompensationinsurance.com. all right, so let's get started. For vocabulary word number 1, or vocabulary term, is work restrictions, and in Spanish, restricciones laborales. Yeah, can you guys see it like that? Yeah, I think that's better. See, I discovered today that if I just bend it a little bit like that, the flash doesn't get on there like that. So yeah, it's gonna give a higher quality to my videos. So okay, so what are work restrictions? Work restrictions are a ban prohibiting a user from performing a certain task due to safety concerns. They have been injured on the job and cannot perform their usual tasks until the injury is fully healed. All right, so usually whenever someone has a workers' comp case, it's because they were injured at work, right? That's what workers' comp is. They are compensating their work, right? And it's an insurance that pays the worker if they injure themselves at work. They pay the worker, and they pay the worker until he is all recovered and can go back to work, if he can go back to work, right? There are some cases that the injury is major, the worker is never going back to work because of his injury, and that is a little different. They take care of them and they just like put them on like disability for life, right? So usually when it's the good thing that the worker is not injured so bad that he can go back to work, they usually don't let them go back to work and perform the full duty, right? What they do is they give them light duty or work restrictions, which work restrictions means, for example, if a gentleman sprained his ankle, right, and his work is standing up all the time, right? Work restriction could be, well, he's not going to be able to be standing up because he is not non-weight bearing on that foot, and he's going to be standing on his left leg, so you better put him on a chair, or you better let him sit down, like do his work sitting and then just stand for 15 minutes, whatever. It's like a special circumstance that they are going to put because the person is not able to perform the complete duty of the job. So they are going to have to do some modifications, some things that they are not allowed to do until they are fully healed. So that is work restrictions. And vocabulary term number 2, it's light duty, and here it is trabajo liviano. And what is the definition for this? And it says, generally, light duty refers to temporary or permanent work that is physically or mentally less demanding than normal job duties. So like I mentioned before, light duty is that they'll probably be doing like the same job. I have a perfect example for this. For example, let's say that there's a woman that cuts fabric, right? And she's cutting, and then she also has to put like the fabric in some boxes, right? Let's say she's a factory worker. So she's doing all this repetitive work with the scissors, and now she has carpal tunnel. That's a word that you should know. Now she has carpal tunnel, and well, she can no longer move her hand, right? Because it causes her pain. So then light duty might be, well, all right, she's not going to be cutting this, but she's gonna be putting all of the fabric, right, all of the cloth into boxes, and that's gonna be her thing now until she gets healed, right? Because she can no longer do the cutting, so somebody's gonna be doing the cutting for her, and maybe they will put like 2 people just cutting, and then the people usually cut and they put things in the boxes. But now those 2 people are no longer going to be putting those things in the boxes. They're just going to be cutting, and now this worker with light duty is just going to be putting those things in the box because it doesn't require that like grip activity, right? Maybe she can just pour the cloth in here and put them, I don't know, but you get the idea, right? All right, so for term number 3, full duty, and here it is. I don't know, can you guys, it looks the same, right? I'm pretty sure you guys can read that. Full duty, obligación completa. Now Full duty can also be translated in Spanish as trabajo completo, but this is personal taste here. If you like saying trabajo completo, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's personal taste right here that I like to say obligación completa. It's like a more literal translation for full duty. Like a literal translation is obligación completa, not trabajo completo, but it means the same thing. They're synonyms, right? You can use either or. Now, I like to say obligación completa because I feel like it conveys the meaning of full duty more, right? Because if they were in light duty and now they are going to like their full duty, that's why I like it much better, right? Tenía trabajo liviano y ahora va a ser la obligación completa. But tenía trabajo liviano, va a ser el trabajo completo ahora. It's the same thing. Just personal taste. I think it sounds better. But trabajo completo, obligación completa, either one is fine. So what is full duty? Full duty means return to work without any restrictions, back to the job that was performed pre-injury, and it is a medical determination based on the evaluator, treating physician evaluation of the patient's condition. So this is like the good case, right? This is the injury got work. The injury got worked. The worker got injured, and he was injured, he was light duty, and now he is completely healed, completely recovered. The doctor said, you can go back to full duty. You can go back to doing the job just as you did it before. Your restrictions are over. You're back to work. So that is what full duty means. All right, and number 4, claim. Spanish translation, reclamo. That is a very, very important term, just not for workers' comp, but for any insurance. I've never taken an insurance call where they don't say claim. So every insurance call is going to have that word. And what is a claim? It is a demand or a request for something considered one's due, right? So for example, if sticking just to workers' comp, let's say that well, yeah, you injured yourself at work. That's a claim. You're claiming that you injured yourself at work, and that is a claim. That is something that you say, well, I injured myself at work, so I am claiming that I injured myself at work and I need workers' comp, right? You are creating a claim so that way you can get what is owed to you because you had an injury at work. All right, moving on to the next term, and that is, all right, here you can see it, case manager, administrador de casos. Now, if the case manager is already working on a case and they tell you, you can also say el administrador del caso, like specific to that case. So, but either one works. Administrador de casos is the same as well. So what is a case manager? Case managers are sometimes assigned by third-party administrators or workers' comp carriers to monitor and assist with the coordination of medical aspects of workers' comp claims. Case managers are generally nurses or social workers. Now, a case manager is a person that just makes sure that all of the patient's appointments and everything is going well and that everything is going smooth, right? The gentleman went to go get seen for his first evaluation. The gentleman, or the worker, the worker went to every follow-up appointment, everything that they've been asking the worker to do. The case manager is the person that makes sure that it gets done. And there are case managers as well in just medical sessions, and what they do is the same thing. They make sure that the patient is going to every appointment. They make sure that the patient has all the needs that that they need for discharge, for going home, for all of that stuff. They just make sure that the patient or the worker is following the plan according to T, right? So that is going to be a case manager. All right, and for term number 6, right there, can you see it? Claim adjuster o ajustador de reclamos. All right, and what is a claims adjuster? Is a person who handles workers' compensations claims for employers. Some claim administrators work directly for large employers that handle their own claims, also known as claim administrator or claim examiner. All right, so a claim adjuster is the person who works on the claim, but he's more like on the employer side, right? He is the first person of contact. Like whenever somebody presents a claim, they're the first person that they are gonna call. They're gonna call the claim adjuster and they're gonna tell them, all right, you know what, this worker got injured, go ahead and handle that. So the claim adjuster is gonna go and he's gonna see or he's gonna tell the patient, all right, you gotta go to such clinic, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And they are like the people that look at like the administrative side of things, you know, like making sure that the person is not claiming more than what he actually should be getting, like and making sure that there were no previous injuries. Like for example, maybe a worker injured his foot, yes, but his foot was very bad before he had the injury, so it is a claim adjuster that has to make sure that that doesn't happen, that everything that the worker is getting is correct for what the type of injury he had. So they are the people that make sure that the worker is not taking advantage of the employer, and also to make sure that whatever the employer is giving the worker, it's according to the injury, right? They're not giving more, they're not giving less, but if they can give you less, you bet sure they will. I don't know, I'm just playing, guys. Not all claim adjusters all the same. All right, number 7, Family and Medical Leave Act. Oh, I'm sorry, right there. I think you can see it better right there. This is the all-famed FMLA, and right here is Ley de Permiso Médico y Familiar. And this is one of those things that I make an exception on. Whenever they say FMLA, I usually tell them La Ley de Permiso Médico y Familiar, o FMLA por sus siglos en inglés. And every time they say FMLA, after that I just say FMLA or FMLA. I even leave it like that sometimes, because if you say FMLA, I'll be like, what? I've never heard that in my life. So just to save you the trouble, you can do it. You don't. If you use it, good. If not, more work for you. No, I'm just kidding. Not more work for you, but yeah, sometimes they don't understand that. So I like to do it like that, but if you just want to say Ley de Permiso Familiar all the time, that's perfectly acceptable as well. But just as soon as you, as long as you say FMLA por sus siglas en inglés, that's fine, and you can just keep on saying FMLA. So what is this? So what is FMLA? FMLA is a federal law that provides certain employees with serious health problems or who need to care for a child or other family member with up to 12 weeks of unpaid job protected leave per year. It also requires that group health benefits be maintained during that leave. I don't know what that means. It requires I don't know what that means, what that last sentence means. All right, so what is FMLA? FMLA is a special law that protects workers. Like for example, if they have a serious health problem, just like the thing says, or for example, let's say that somebody's wife had surgery, right? So FMLA protects you so you don't lose your job, so you can take care of your loved one. Or I think I said wife, I don't remember. But all right, so let's just say to take care of your loved one, and they will hold your job for 12 weeks, up to 12 weeks without any pay, and that is for a period of a year, right? So if in 1 year you go ahead and you use all of your 12 weeks, then and you want to use them again in that year, then you're not going to be able to. And if you just leave your job, you're most likely going to get fired, and there's no law protecting you against that. So this is also for example, when a worker gets injured, they go into FMLA because, of course, if the injury is so bad that it does not permit the person from working, then they need to be excused, and they sometimes they get into FMLA. Of course, I am not a lawyer, so I don't know exactly how that law works, but you kind of get the idea of it, and I kind of get the idea of it as well. All right. But you don't need to know the law, you just need to know how to interpret it, or how to interpret it to a different language, all right? And just the name of the law, not the law explanation or stuff. All right. All right, so number 8, lien, gravamen. Now, this is a term that has come up a lot, and the first time that it came up, and not necessarily just for workers' comp sessions, but they say lien. Now, every time that it came up, and I mean, that's not like a word that is used a lot, is very financial. So is a word that I always forget. That's why I included it here. Lien, gravamen. And I included it here because this is a word for me personally, that lien, if I hear the word lien, I will not remember that it is spelled Lien. So that's a word that I struggle with a lot, and it's a word that is not so common, but I've heard it a few times. I've probably heard it a dozen times, probably more. And it always gets me. So I included this here in case anybody hears it. Then you already know that that's how you spell it, Lien. That way it won't be hard to find. If you can just remember Lien, I think you'll be good. All right. And of course, if you can remember the translation, then you will be even better than me. All right. So what is a lien? A lien is a right or claim for payment against workers' compensation case. A lien claimant, such as a medical provider, can file a form with the local workers' compensation appeal board to request payment of money owed in a workers' compensation case. So what is this? Let's say, for example, workers' comp doesn't want to pay a worker, but the doctor is sure he has evidence, and he is like, this worker needs to get paid. I mean, look at him, and he has evidence and everything. He can put a lien against the decision that was made to not pay the worker, and then they have to review, do all kinds of paperwork and hearings, stuff like that, and then they will decide if they need to pay the worker or not. Now, this is in a workers' comp case, but it's also in a financial case. A lien is, for example, collateral that you put against something. Like, for example, if I'm gonna go ahead and it's kind of like collateral, but like, for example, let's say I want to take out a loan, but I don't have anything but a house. I can put a lien on the house. That way, if I don't pay it, the bank can take my house. So it's kind of like collateral, and the bank would have every right to the house, and I wouldn't be able to sell it unless I had the bank's permission. Like, it's still my house, but in case that I don't pay what I promised, then it's the bank's house now. So that is a lien. All right, number 9. Oh, what is this? Temporary disability, incapacidad temporal. All right, so what is temporary disability? Now, temporary disability is paid if a physician verifies that an injured employee cannot work because of work-related illnesses or injury. Temporary disability benefits are not paid for the first 3 days of work missed unless the employee is off more than 14 days or hospitalized. The amount of temporary disability, I don't know why I have this so long definition, but anyways, it's a compensation is determined by law and is 2/3 of the employee's wages. Payments must be made every 2 weeks for as long as the employee is eligible. Temporary disability benefits stop when the employee returns to work or the treating physician releases the employee for work or says that the injury has reached a point of maximum improvement. So this is, for example, like I mentioned in the beginning, like the worker is injured, but he cannot go with work restrictions. He cannot even do light duty. So he is going to go into temporary disability, and this is different from FMLA. Like I'm pretty sure like these are like two different things, because FMLA is much longer, up to 12 weeks, and like it says here, temporary disability is up to 14 days, I believe, or no, I'm not sure how long it is. I'm not gonna get into the law stuff, but just know that temporary disability is just temporary. Like they're not able to work for a certain time because they got injured at work, and that is what temporary disability is. But once the worker is completely healed and can go back to work full duty or light duty, then he gets taken off of disability and he has to go to work. All right, and number 10, settlement or resolución or acuerdo. Now that could be either or, depending on your taste. And what is a settlement? It is an agreement between the injured worker and the claims administrator about the worker's compensation payment and future medical care that will be provided to the worker. Settlements must be reviewed by a workers' compensation administrative law judge to determine whether they are adequate. So a settlement is like the resolution, right? Like, okay, so you got injured, and this is what we can do for you. We are going to give you, I don't know, 3 months out of work. You're gonna be getting paid disability. You are going to get all of the doctor's visits and whatever, whatever is decided between the claims adjuster and the worker. And the worker has a right to appeal if he thinks like he's being cheated or he's not getting the treatment that he requires for his injury, right? So there's always a chance that he could appeal, or he could not agree with what the claims administrator is. So there's gonna be like a back and forth, right? Oh no, you're not giving me enough. Yes, you're taking too much, blah blah blah. So they're gonna meet in the middle, and that is a settlement. And a settlement is not just for workers' comp, it's for insurance, car insurance, but almost all insurance. So that is what a settlement is. All right, so I hope that this video is of help to everyone, and that is going to be it for me today. Please leave your questions in the comments and I will answer some of them in the next session. Remember, if the thing is time sensitive, let me know, that way I can get to your video before I do any other videos. And remember that we are still trying to get the video called Prepare for the CCHI to 100 likes. So let's get to it. We just have like what, 30, what did I say, 33 Yeah, we just have 33 more likes to go, so I'm pretty sure we can get it this week. So let's get to it, guys, and remember that you are going to get a chance to win feedback from us and exclusive links to MIP 22 once that is done. Also remember that we have a Patreon page for as little as just $1 of your support. You help motivate us to create much more content. We give you access to all the medical practice videos ad-free, scripts to all the practice videos, answer sheets, vocabulary list, and much more content. Remember that we also have the MIP 21 video already up on YouTube, because that video, the prepare for the CCHI, received 50 likes. So let's get to it, guys. And most importantly, if you support us on Patreon, you will forever have a place inside of our heart. A shout out to all of our Patreons. We love you guys. A shout out to everyone that has bought us a coffee. Shout out to all of our subscribers and to everyone that is watching the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video and have not done so for much more content. And don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.